Hello to everybody. Thank you for your invitation. I'm going to explain to you the Slovenian spatial planning system. As you know, Slovenia is also a young country, which is only 30 years old. And along with our declaration of independence, we also changed our political and economic system. So we replaced socialism with parliamentary democracy, market economy, and private property. Since 2004, Slovenia is a member of the European Union. We also had to change our spatial planning system. This was previously based on the so-called community planning. However, this transition to the new spatial planning system wasn't easy. So in the past 30 years, we changed our spatial planning legislation 3 times. And it seems that the next month, we will get our 4th spatial planning law. The current Spatial Planning Act was adopted in 2017. Slovenia's spatial plans are divided into strategic and implementation plans, and we have them at the state, regional, and municipal levels. They are organized hierarchically. Strategic spatial plans contain the vision and concept of future spatial development, while implementation plans are the basis for issuing building permits. This table shows spatial plans in Slovenia. At the state level, we have a strategic plan and implementation plans. At the regional level, we have regional strategic plans. And at the municipal level, we have a strategic plan and 3 detailed or implementation plans. The most important is the municipal spatial plan, which is the main implementation spatial plan in our country. I will tell you more about these plans later in the presentation. According to the current law, we have 4 obligatory spatial plans in Slovenia. The first is the Spatial Development Strategy of Slovenia. This is the hierarchically highest spatial plan. It covers the entire country. Then regional spatial plans. These are strategic plans. They cover the whole region, and they contain text and maps at the scale of approximately 1 to 100,000. However, we still don't have any regional spatial plans because Slovenia still doesn't have regions as administrative units. National spatial plan is an implementation plan which is used mainly for nationally important infrastructure. Then the previously mentioned municipal spatial plan, it is an implementation plan. It covers the entire municipality. It contains text in the form of a decree and maps at a scale of 1 to 5,000. Then there are optional plans, which are municipal strategic spatial plan. It covers the entire municipality. Then municipal detailed spatial plan, an implementation plan. It covers smaller spatial units. It has a decree and the maps at a scale of 1 to 1,000 or 1 to 500, but sometimes it can be prepared also at a scale of 1 to 2,000. Then here is the novelty, which is called a decree on the image of the settlement and landscape, which is an implementation plan. It contains only an ordinance without graphics. So Slovenian strategic plans are not legal acts. Their role is only guiding, but implementation plans shall not be in conflict with them. Instructions and provisions in our spatial plans are set with the help of 3 tools. These are guidelines. They are mainly used in strategic plans. Then determination of land use. Land use is graphically determined only by the municipality spatial plans, and the precision is per plot. This is applied both to basic land use and detailed land use. And there are also spatial implementation provisions. They include graphic and textual provisions and are used in the implementation spatial plans. If someone wants to change the guidelines, land use or spatial implementation provisions, the regular procedure must be used, except in rare cases when a shorter procedure is available. For some minor individual spatial interventions, also the so-called location checkup procedure can be used, which is also a novelty from 2017. A few words about the content of municipal and regional plans. So, a regional strategic spatial plan covers regionally important strategic spatial content, while the municipal strategic spatial plan covers strategically important spatial content for the municipality. There are also 2 mandatory expert bases for regional and municipal strategic spatial plans. These are urban design plan, which deals with spatial development of cities and important settlements, and landscape design plan, which is meant for the future spatial development of some parts of the landscape. Municipal spatial plan is the main implementation spatial plan of the municipality, and is basis for building permits. It determines spatial planning units, basic and detailed land use, spatial implementation provisions, regulatory areas of settlements, areas reserved for long-term development of settlements, and some regulatory areas outside settlements. It also determines areas which are covered by detailed spatial plans and infrastructure, roads, water supply, and so on. Municipal detailed spatial plans are very useful plans, but unfortunately they're not used as much as they should be. They contain detailed provisions on spatial planning, determined both graphically and textually. A decree on the image of settlements and landscape are used for provisions for spatial interventions without a building permit. And then there is also a so-called location checkup, which is basically a detour around the municipal spatial plan. It is used for minor adjustments of spatial implementation provisions and land use for individual investments. All spatial plans have to have also expert bases, which include various studies, expert materials, conceptual designs, and so on. But their content is mainly still vague. So far, only 3 expert bases are defined in more detail. They are previously already mentioned urban design plan and a landscape design plan. And there is also an economic study, which is intended to verify necessary investment in public infrastructure. Environmental issues are covered in environmental report, This is not an expert basis, but a part of the process of comprehensive environmental impact. This assessment is carried out when necessary and is an integral part of the process of preparation of spatial plans. The preparation of all plans includes public participation, which basically consists of two steps. At the beginning, public can participate with their wishes, needs, and ideas, which are captured in consultations, workshops, surveys, collection of initiatives, etc. And later in the process, there is obligatory public presentation, which may not be shorter than 30 days, and anybody can participate. Ministries, local community bodies, public service providers are also involved in the process with their development and protection data, guidelines, and opinions. The preparation of strategic plans introduce public bodies, while the preparation of implementation plans can be initiated by public bodies or private investors. The preparation of strategic plans finances the public body, while the preparation of implementation plans can pay private individuals or public bodies. Planners of strategic plans can be, at least theoretically, anybody. Implementation plans can be made only by licensed architects and spatial planners who are members of our Chamber of Architecture and Spatial Planning. They work mainly in private companies, but also as public servants. All strategic plans are prepared in a similar way. This procedure begins with starting points. This is followed by a draft plan, which is a subject of public presentation. After the public presentation, the proposal of the plan is prepared, and this is followed by the adoption of the plan. The spatial development strategy of Slovenia is adopted by the Slovenian Parliament. The regional spatial plan adopts the Development Council of the region, and the municipal strategic spatial plan is adopted by the municipal council. The process of preparing implementation spatial plans is very complicated and long. It begins with starting points on the preparation of the plan and the decision on the preparation, which is adopted by the mayor. Then guidelines from the participating bodies are obtained, which also includes a decision on the need to conduct a comprehensive environmental impact assessment. After that, a draft plan is prepared, and the first opinions of the participating bodies obtained. This is followed by a public presentation of the amended draft. After public presentation comes the proposal of the plan and second opinions of the participating bodies. Approval of the plan by the Ministry of the Environment and Spatial Planning is also needed. And at the end, the municipality adopts the plan. This procedure is for the municipal spatial plan. There are no standards and regulations for making strategic spatial plans. In practice, SHP and T formats, also PDF, are used for the cartographic content, while the text content is prepared in doc and PDF formats. These two formats are used for all text content of all spatial plans in Slovenia. The content and form of implementation spatial plans are determined in the rules and also by the technical rules that were issued by the Ministry of Environment and Spatial Planning. The ministry actually strictly controls the form of the graphic part of the municipal spatial plan because it wants to use the graphic data of this plan for the emerging spatial information system. Graphic data must be prepared in SHP and T formats. The detailed spatial plans are mainly prepared in DWG and PDF formats, but also partly in SHP format. All spatial plans are currently made in digital and analog form, but in the future, after the establishment of the spatial information system, the digital form should prevail. The Chamber of Architecture and Spatial Planning of Slovenia supervises the content quality of implementation plans. And now for conclusion, a few examples of the cartographic part of municipal spatial plans. The first picture shows municipal strategic spatial plan. The second picture is from the municipal spatial plan, the most important implementation plan in Slovenia. And the third picture is from the municipal detailed spatial plan. So with this, I will conclude my presentation and will gladly answer your questions later. So goodbye.